All right, we are live. Said I wanted to try to go early today because we've got a lot to do to catch up. We are needle felting along with Bob Ross tutorials, making mini magnets this time. This guy is actually 3 inches by 3 inches. He's zoomed in, so he looks bigger than he is. In the chat, we have posted the link to the Bob Ross tutorial in full. So if anyone wants to go and see that, it is pinned there. And I've got the tutorial advanced to where we need to be for today. And it looks like we'll be starting off with some white. Now, I use acrylic yarn instead of roving because it fits my budget a bit better. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people are allergic to wool. So it is also a good alternative for them. Sorry, just getting resituated here. Alright, so we sort of look like we've got some water hanging out over here. And then we've got some snow over here. I'm almost wondering if we should do the water first. Now, the water is sort of the same color as the sky. So I should probably grab that sky color. Because we're going to need that. Alright, I think we'll actually put our water in first. Just getting some water. Because it feels like we're going to need it today. Yeah. It just wants to, it doesn't want to shape. You don't have to shape it like this, it's just something I prefer to do. So let's see. Alright, so we have that maybe coming through the side here. Get our needle set up here. Alright. And I'm just gonna position our water in here. I thought I was gonna like this one more. I actually think so far, out of the tutorials we've done from this season, so far, the fourth one has been my favorite. We still have a ways to go on this season. This season, there's 13, I think he usually has 13 episodes. Now, the shape of ours here is a little bit different than Bob's, because Bob's got that, like, oval thing happening there with his contact paper. And I opted to leave ours, square. Because that was just a level of tininess, shall we say, that I didn't want to deal with, because we would have been even smaller than 3x3 if we had done the whole contact paper idea. I would have had to, like, do the entire thing in, like, a gray or a white as a base. And then kind of sketch out a circular oval kind of guy here. for us to work within. And that was just a level of making this even smaller of a work surface that I was just like, yeah, no, I'm good. That's okay. We can still have it be a square. It's fine. Just means ours is going to look a little bit different. And I did omit, the weird little light blue silhouetted suggestion of tree leaves hanging in the middle, because I couldn't figure out a way for me to do it where it wasn't going to look like clouds. Because I feel like without tree branches in there, it just would have looked strange. I guess I can still kind of go back and add those in if we really need it. But we'll see where we're at, because we are behind. I want to try to finish this today. I don't know if we're going to have time to. Hence why we're starting an hour early today. I don't know if an hour early is enough. But I just couldn't concentrate last week with the snow and everything, so. Here we are. And we did finish the dragonfly yesterday, so that was fun. The shades look a little different after, like, between the indoor photo and the post ceiling photo from outside in the sun. I was kind of surprised by that. It looked a little more yellow inside, which I wasn't really expecting. Alright. So we do need to add a little bit more, like, up in here on that edge. Alright. That might be a little big. Alright. So kind of just want to be up a little bit on top of that edge. Now, I am by no means an expert in this. I've just been kind of following other tutorials a little bit and just kind of going at it. But I do like working on these little landscapey guys. Let's see, how are we looking here? I'm gonna have some white coming over this way, so there is a little tiny thin spot right here. So I think I might cover that just to make sure we are good there. These are finger protectors, finger coats. They're to help you so you don't hurt yourself too badly. Because this is a barbed needle, it is very sharp. It needs to be sharp to go through all of the things, all of the layers of fluff. And the little Barbies on there grab the fluff of whatever variety you happen to be using. So mine's going to look a little different than my finished texture. It's going to be a little bit different than somebody using roving. So do bear that in mind. I do like the look of the pieces done in roving. It's just not quite the color selection I want, and it's a little bit out of budget for me. But that's okay. We have found a way to work within our budget. So that's what we do. This method does require a little bit more prep for your yarn, but that's okay. That's a step I'm willing to do to get it to where it needs to be. All right. So I need to get that corner filled in there. All right, this is just a little bit of water. Sometimes that can help you shape your bit of fluff here. It can give your hand just enough friction to maneuver your bit of fluffy stuff around. Apologies if I was off the screen there a minute ago. All right. So end goal is to have something approximately 3 inches by 3 inches. We had drawn out a 3-inch by 3-inch square, tracing around our magnet base. But then I also came back in and added some tape along those lines just in case I lost sight of my pen lines. So I have a better idea of where my boundaries are. We'll probably still end up trimming off a little bit on the edges, and that's okay. It happens, especially depending on the thickness of the felt that you're using for your base piece. I'm just using standard craft felt, the like cheap 25 cents a sheet stuff, because that's the right thickness, or thinness should I say, for what I use to make my frame out of for these little paintings. If your base felt's a little bit thicker, you might have to go with maybe a thicker craft stick to make a frame, or maybe like a popsicle stick that you can adjust how thick your piece is depending on how thick this guy ends up being when you go to put him on your base, so that it sits underneath of your frame pieces. And if you are using one of these fabric mats, I do strongly suggest you gently detach it from the mat regularly. and reposition on your mat so it gets a little bit more even wear on it. And if you don't pop up regularly, you're going to really get attached to your fabric mat. And when you go to pull it up, you might damage your mat base, and like warp it and misshapen it, because this stuff really latches on. I've done it before when I first started and didn't know that I was supposed to peel it up every so often. And I didn't peel it up till the very end and almost could not remove it. I was like, oh no. I was like, what happened here? Is this normal? I was like, Houston, I think we have a problem. Sorry, I just had a little gap up there. I just wanted to reposition some of the fluff in. If you come at it from like a bit of an angle, you can slightly nudge your fluff around a little bit. Kind of like elbow it over just a little. Like, pardon me, excuse me, slide over, please, thank you. Sort of thing. So you mostly want to be going at this as up and down as you can, because that's when you come in at the angle that you can try to nudge it. Just making sure that I am good and attached here. And that we are happy with our placement. That I'm not quite thrilled with. That might get trimmed. The frame might be sitting on top of that. Okay, so that's fine there. All right, so I'm going to turn this guy this way. I'm going to take our blue, put that back in our bag here. And I'm going to go back to our white that we had started to pull out. Now he's got like a bit like down here that I wasn't sure what was going on with, but he might like stick some shrubbery or something there, because it's right on the curve of his contact paper there. So I think I'm just gonna kind of have to figure it out, and I might take the snow all the way down the side edge there. Probably gonna have to add a bit more white in here. As we maneuver around and through here. Just so we can fill in a bit. So I did go with a little bit of a lighter well, not lighter, but thinner piece of fluff here. Still undecided about those trees. The sky feels so empty. I might come back in and do something with that. Maybe. I have a color that I could try to use in there that would blend in. So it would work. All right. I'm going to cut this guy down a little bit. So that's I can work him into here. A little bit easier. Definitely cut your fluff down if you need to fit an area. That's more than fine. Now he does have a bit of shadowing in here, so I might have to grab our, I think he used a bit of the pink. I'm gonna grab a little bit of our purpley color, I think, to make our shadow and get that kind of figured out. All right, and a lot of this is just kind of going back and forth and trying to figure out how you want to approach it and kind of fussing with it till you're happy with it, right? It's just a lot of what this is about, fussing until you're happy with the shape, with the smoothness, or the unsmoothness. You can get some interesting textures going on this guy, or with this stuff. All right, a little bit of water, just like a drop. We don't need to go too crazy with that. So we are gonna get this bit of snow attached on into here. Alrighty. This guy. Oh, right. Like, this seems like it's going in a different direction than everything else, because it is. It totally 100% is. Hope everybody's doing okay on this Tuesday. We are doing okay. We're keeping our heads above water at the moment. Alright, that's about all you can do right now. Especially for us. Okay. Sorry, had to do something real quick. Alright. Let's go ahead and flip that guy. Or rotate it, not really flip it. Okay. So, just working on getting our snow put in. And I'm going to take our snow on this guy all the way to the bottom. Just because I don't know what he's got going on in that bottom edge. The way it looks, I think it's supposed to be some kind of like shrubbery or something that's hanging out on the edge there from the looks of it. Are the kids outside across the street?
I'm pretty sure they are. I thought I heard them too.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I was hearing a cat meowing outside or if it was a kid screaming through my headphones. It was kind of hard to tell. Alrighty. This guy popped into here. I think we need to try to get to the DMV on Thursday. See about getting this stupid ID figured out. Alrighty. We'll get this popped into here. As best as we can. Now, I know I've been using some funky colors. You can just use like neutral grays or whatever. You can really use whatever base color you want. I've had a bunch of sheets of random colors that I had picked up in a pack of felt from Amazon that turned out to be a little too small for what I was trying to do originally. And this has just been sitting there, and I'm like, we should just use this. We have it. We need 3-inch squares of this. This is fine for this. So we're just trying to use up a bunch of what we have. Because, you know, we got the stuff to use, so let's use it. I always have this thing about, oh, I want to buy the thing, and then I'm like, oh, but if I use it, then I'm going to be out of it. And then I'm like, no, we have to save this for special. And I'm like, no, use it. Use it. It's just sitting there taking up space, collecting dust. Use it. Especially with the felts. I mean, it's cheap enough. We can get more felt. That's fine. Sometimes you just have to have these chats with yourself and be like, what are you doing? Especially on my, like, more expensive supplies. I'm like, oof. We have to use this sparingly. And I'm like, no, just use it. By the time you're done using it, you'll be able to figure out if you even need more of it. I did run out of pink spray paint last night, though. Well, yesterday afternoon. Which is sad because I noticed how chipped the wire skeleton flamingos are around our front door, and I'm like, oh damn. I think that was paint that stuck to the paper that we had it laid out on when we were spraying it. I can get more to fix it if we need to. That's not that big of a deal. But I probably won't touch it up for a little bit. I got the other little wire statue, sculpture, I don't know what you want to call it, spray painted yesterday. And he was quite a bit of a challenge to spray, to be perfectly honest. Because he had all kinds of ups and downs and twists and turns on him. I'm sure we probably missed some spots where the paint didn't quite grab onto it on first pass. I mean, I was probably standing too close with it, but I also ran out of paint, so when I was doing a second coat on him, so I'm like, spray paint's expensive too. I was like, $8? Like, this didn't used to be this much money. I was like, oh my god. This is crazy. Now, of course, I got that in Lowe's, and I don't know if that was Lowe's pricing or what, but that was a lot more than I was expecting it to be. Or maybe it was closer to 10. It might have also been the color. It's like a matte finish, hot pink. I really didn't think I needed anything glossy. But it looks better than it did, because it was like a, I don't know if it used to be white at one point, but it was chipping off, and it was definitely dirty. It had been around for a bit, so it definitely needed some sort of something on it. We cleaned it up. We cleaned up his little marble eyeball that he had. At least this one's not like my plastic flamingos that kept cracking and disintegrating in the weather. So that's good. Because I had a whole bunch of mini little lawn flamingos. Some got decapitated by the husband when he was trying to weed whack something. And I don't think he realized they were there. Or they were already cracked, and he was like, ah, what happens, what happens. But, so, we've lost a few. I was really hoping to be able to get a few more of my metal flamingos that are on these little springs that kind of wobble back and forth in the wind. I call them my anxiety flamingos. I don't know if they have any more for spring yet where I got them again, because we haven't been out that way. Although it doesn't really matter, I guess. I don't really have the money to get any anyhow. Like, I still have some of the tan kind of popping through down there. So that I'm not thrilled about. So this might take a little bit of layering up on this. Just to kind of get it to where we're happy with it. Like, I don't know if it's just a trick of my eyes, or if I'm actually seeing that through there. Because I just put in this thicker piece. So I didn't think I would be seeing it, but I am still seeing it a little bit. Alright. So let me brush that down. I mean, I don't know if I'm losing my mind here, or if I am actually seeing what I think I'm seeing. Alright. I mean, I might actually be seeing thin sections because this isn't that terribly thick. So this piece that I just laid down's a bit thin in places. Okay. It's supposed to be over 70 today, you guys. What is happening? Hell yeah. My neck is pissed. Like, I don't mind necessarily that it's getting warmer, but my body does. Like, I need the gradually wade into temperature changes. Because when the temperature just snaps and it's like, oh, it's like a low of 20 something today. Oh, you've got a high of 50 the next day. I'm like, what? My body's like, oh, hell no. It's like, no, we don't approve. It's like, no, we want it to be a little bit warmer. A little bit warmer is nice. And my body's like, no. What we're not doing is cooperating with that. We didn't sign off on that memo. And my neck just freaks out. And it just gets uncomfortable because I can feel like the heat coming off of it. It's supposedly 63 already. For Christ's sake. Alright, that is a little bit of a thin spot still. Right in there. Or at least that feels like what I'm looking at. And it's gonna bother me if I don't attempt to fill it in, because it looks like dirty snow. So, we don't want the dirty snow. No, thank you. Say no to the dirty snow. I don't want dirty snow. Not yet. It looks like it just fell. We at least have a few hours before it looks dirty. Just a few. Okay. That looks a little bit thicker there. There's still a little bit of a spot, like right in here. Like this looks a little bit better. The Tulsa Zoo has a new baby giraffe. I think it was born a couple days ago. They announced it on, or maybe it was the news. The news might have announced it because I think I'm following one of the news stations over there, so I have an idea of what the weather's gonna be for when we go to the zoo. So that's exciting. I didn't see if it was a boy or a girl yet, but that's fun. I can't wait till we go back to see if they've finished the renovations on the one elephant center, because they were still kind of working on that. The new barn was kind of open. I don't know that we walked up there all the way. But, it'd be fun. I don't know when we're gonna get to the zoo again, though. That I just don't know. Because it's about $100 to go to the zoo for 3 of us, and gas, admission, and snackies. Usually get like an icy and a pretzel or funnel cake fries or something. We've learned to bring our own food to that zoo. That zoo lets you bring in your own food. Some zoos don't. But they've got a lot of picnic tables and stuff around. You just can't, like, they don't want you bringing in glass, but you can bring in your own food there, which is good because I hate the concession stand offerings. They don't really have anything that I want, and I think the pizza they had there, we tried a slice of it and we didn't like it, so and everything else was just so expensive. It was just easier to bring our own stuff from home and put it in our cooler bag. All right. A little bit of water. Don't want a whole lot. We don't want it to be too wet. We're not doing wet felting. Wet felting is a whole nother animal. Now, the wet felting, I think you do have to use the roving for. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you do, because the roving sticks to itself a heap ton easier than the acrylic yarn does. That's why a lot of things I was seeing about making critters, if you're gonna go with the acrylic yarn, talked about using a roving core at least. But I haven't had too much issue with how we've gone about making our critters previously. We've done okay. Okay. Wasn't sure if I was losing my mind. I mean, I probably am. But a little section in here that is just a little bit thinner than I want it to be. So this white yarn's a little bit tricky because sometimes it goes on pretty well and then other times it looks pretty transparent where I'm seeing all of the colors from underneath more than I really wanted to. Okay. Okay. Get a little bit more of our water. I like doing the little fluffy bits of rolled goodness here because I feel like it brings the fibers a little bit closer together and it just feels like I don't have to deal with as many thin sections. If you enjoy the thin sections and the other colors coming through, then whatever, or you can just lay it down and just layer it up until, you know, you've got it to the desired shade that you're looking for. Personal preference here, guys. Don't forget about that. Just trying to make sure I stay within my boundaries. Don't want to go too crazy here. Oh, itchy nose. Another thing, it's getting warmer, so all of the plants are like, time to expel our pollen everywhere out into the world. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Let's not. I mean, I know they need to, but something in this area just, we still haven't figured out what it is. But it seems to be exclusive to this area, from what we've been able to tell. Alright, I'm going to trim that. Don't think I needed the entire size of that piece there. I mean, I also have that cabin that we still have to put in. So, I mean, I could be like trying to fill in a section where that cabin's gonna go and didn't really need to go to quite such lengths, but I'd rather do it now because it's easier to fuss with it before this cabin comes in. Then I don't have to work around the shape of it. Okay. Get this popped into here. So we still need to thicken that up a little bit. All right. So get this bit. But have to be a little bit careful that we don't get too carried away and cut off too much of the bottom of our shrubbery here. So we have to be a little bit mindful. I don't think I'm going to get much done on the tissue paper project on Thursday. Kind of depends. Like, the last thing I feel like doing is going to the DMV. But we can't put it off too much longer. I think that was the German Shepherd. Alright, so we do have that little bit of a dip at the top. But I think we'll be okay. Alright. I'm just gonna try to get this popped in, fill in any gaps in there. I mean, obviously we're still gonna have to add a little bit more snow here. So we're almost there on this snow portion. We should probably, oh, careful. Go ahead and rotate our mat. We're due for a rotate. So why not? Alright, now I'm not putting hardly any pressure on my finger. My finger's just kind of resting on top of this tail here. This loose fluff, just so that the needle doesn't grab too much of it too quickly. Because, like, if I let go, you know, you can just see the needle eating it. So just that little bit of just light, normal finger resting pressure. If you don't want to be pushing down, just, you know, gently. Just the normal weight of said finger is usually enough to keep the needle from swallowing too much of it too quickly. That's probably pretty good there. Now he added a little bit of kind of reflection on the edge of that, of the water there, like over in here. I mean, I could, but it's kind of every time I've done it, it doesn't look right. So I just don't know if I'm just not doing it right, but maybe I just need to practice it more. Alright, so let's see what he's doing now. Oh, we might need to bring our... Oh. Oh. Bob. Oh. That's my fault. Okay. So... Okay. We also have to come back in and add a little bit more. I forgot about our shadows that quickly. So we need to... It's probably what was not looking right to my brain over here. So add a little bit of ground, and that means I need to grab our blue again. To adjust our river here, or stream. Probably a stream. Alright. So let's get this all crunched into place as best as we can. And just kind of get a little bit more ground under this section. Alright, grab our watercolor again. And try to adjust that. It's always pulling out the surprises. I think maybe just a teeny bit more. Like, we don't need very much. I just need to kind of fill in that little weird joint between the two. All right. Now let's go back to our watercolor. We don't need a whole lot of this. Again, just a little. Okay. So, let me see if we can kind of work this guy in here. Might have to add a little bit more here. As we attach it, it is going to be a little bit thin there. Like, that looks a little strange, right? It almost looks like a waterfall. All right. I'm gonna kind of loop my little tails in there. He doesn't have a whole lot of room here. And I actually thought the snow was coming all the way across in the first image of this section. Apparently not. You okay? Alright, so let's kind of get that popped into there. Alright, that doesn't look too badly. We're doing the best we can here. Alright. So I need to step away for just 1 second. Now's a good time to stretch, refill your drink, refill your snackies. I will be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I had to check on the husband. Okay. Alright, Bob. Oh, right. That purple. Got a mental block against this purple today. Like, we don't need a whole lot of it. I feel like I just need a little bit here. Just enough. To indicate some shadowiness. So I'm kind of leaving it a little bit wispy, like a fluffy cloud. As I am going to tap it in, and I'm just kind of letting it tap in how it's going to. I'm trying to direct it, but not overly so. Let me brush the back of that down. Alright. Okay, and we need just a tiny bit for over here. Trying to get up under my shrubs here, or get as close to the base of them as I can before I start scraping it down. Just need enough to put just a light color on there to indicate something, right? Like, it doesn't have to be a whole lot there. Like I said, I'm not feeling this one as much as I was thinking I was going to. And oddly enough, I think 4 has been my favorite so far. Which was weird, because when I started out 4, I was really unsure on it. Oh gosh. Okay, so he's got his knife out. And he started to scrape out a cabin shape. So he's taking his dark cabin color. And he's gonna knife that guy right on in there. Okay, so cabin's gonna be right on over there. Wait. Bob, why did you even bother putting that tree branch in? I'm so confused. This cabin's kind of hard to see. Or, I guess, shack might be more appropriate. Okay. Okay. So there's the side of it. And yeah, so that tree is like gonna completely vanish. Alright. So we're gonna need our chocolate brown. Now let's see, what else is he doing here? Door. Okay. Alright, can we get a bit of an... Okay, so he's just kind of cleaning up the edges of him there. Alright. So let's work on... Actually, like right now I just kind of need enough to do our outline here. So ours is going to be in a slightly different position. So I'm just trying to thin this out a little bit. All right. So he kind of, it's kind of on an angle, right? Maybe we do the back edge of this guy first. Like it kind of just goes. I'm just gonna kind of take this up to there. We're probably gonna lose all of our roof here. Okay, so I'm gonna take this guy across. Cabins are not something I am good at, especially tiny cabins. Okay, I'm going to snip that in our weirdly disjointed shaped cabin. Okay, so we've got a little bit of fluff still here. Just gonna try to make this guy a little bit thinner. All right. And I'm gonna try to figure out where we're gonna attach. Okay. So I'm just gonna re-tap into there because I want to make sure that my little taily guy there. Now our cabin is definitely different than Bob's, differently positioned and all that, differently shaped. Like I said, cabin's not my strong point here. I mean, we are trying. We are giving it some effort here. We're not just kind of trying to phone it in. This is me trying to do it. I'm trying. Alright. So, work on coloring this guy in. At least we're gonna try to. And we'll still have to come back and lighten our shape here. Put our highlights on him. Okay. So let's get a little bit more fluff. And we'll start to try to fill in the rest of this front section here. As best as we can. Cabin is so tiny, it looks so comical. That's okay though. Ours is more of just like a little tiny fishing shack. That's all. Okay. Now, I need to do the little side of this guy here. Or you know what? Say maybe I should highlight the front of it first. But I think we'll live dangerously here. I'm gonna have to redo our cabin roof here. Get the snow piled in there. can go there. I was trying to cover it, but you know what? A little bit of snow on there might not be a terrible thing. Grab our highlighty color. As best as I can here. I'm gonna try to like take it to the edge a little bit, but I don't want it to be lined up on the edge directly. Kind of want a little bit of that edge kind of popping through there. Now this is very thin, very wispy, so we're gonna have to build up a little bit more on there, and that's fine. Sometimes things work out a lot better when you build up to it. All right. We are just kind of working on getting some highlighty, weathered looking wood worked into here. As best as we can. It's difficult with how small we are here. So I'm gonna try to work this in on the side here. We're gonna put our door on the triangle-y side. Okay. Now I need to figure out my roof here. So we'll probably kind of Well, I guess it doesn't matter so much as long as we get it filled in, right? And the fill-in doesn't have to be spectacular on our roof here. Because we're going to come back in and hit that up with some snow. But I kind of wanted there to be something that looked roof-like under the snow. Still have to add our door. Alright, so I don't have to fuss this too hard. I do want this brown attached though. So I am trying to make sure of that. Oh, the back of this is really going to be thick. We're going to have to really trim this back down pretty good. Alright. I am going to tuck the brown back in its bag, the dark brown. The light brown. Go back in its bag now. Okay, so we need to figure out what color door we're going to put in. He did black. I guess we can do black. That would probably make the most sense. Alright. So, gonna take our white here and kind of follow our roof line here. And I'm just gonna trim that there. Kind of need to see what I'm doing. And that was kind of blocking my view. I'm just kind of figuring out our roof shape here for the snow to be sitting on it. And, you know, I guess make this as thick as you want. However much snow you want sitting up on this guy. I mean, I'm going to add a bit more than that because, you know, it needs a bit more than that in my opinion, but you know, like I said, it's your, like Bob says, it's your thing. You're going to have to do a little bit of decision making. I know that can be difficult. It's difficult for me sometimes to make the choice because I'm afraid I'm going to make the wrong choice, but I also have to get out of that mentality because is there really a wrong choice when we're making something? Like, I mean, sometimes we regret a choice and we're like, oh, that didn't work out, but at least we learned that that choice doesn't work out, so it's not like a complete loss. I am going to leave some of that back edge of the roof line visible. You don't really see it too well. Well, no, yeah, you can kind of see it on his. Kinda. Get some more of our snowy bit attached into here. All right. So get this worked into here. Hopefully we actually get to the finishing stages on this one today, because I brought all of the things. So I've got our glue, I've got our paint, got my water, I've got the hot glue gun out even. Oh, I didn't get the X-Acto knife though. Oh, shit. Alright, so I don't have everything. I have almost everything. The X-Acto knife, I know where it is though. Okay. So we're trying to make a teeny tiny door. This might be too big. Oh gosh. Way too much fluff. Way too much fluff. We don't have a giant living in this shack. I just kind of need a tiny door indication. Now, he outlined the door. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Like, this might be a, fruitless endeavor. Sorry, my hand is in the way at the moment. Okay, well, we kinda got it. Alright, let me pop that up. Okay. Grab that. Put that back in its bag so I don't lose it. Let me tuck the extra black back in its bag. Okay. It's not terrible. That background still looks really empty. I'm still uncertain if I'm going to go back in and put those trees in. Alright, so Bob is coming back and... Oh boy, Bob. What are you doing? We're adding some kind of shrubbery silhouette to this side. Okay. What the heck's he doing? I can't even see what the heck he did there. Okay, liquid white. Oh. Oh. Blue? Really? Okay. All right. That's interesting. Okay. Now it looks almost... Did he make a purple? It looks like he's mixing the... into the pink a little bit. Okay. Okay, so he's kind of going back and forth between this purpley color and this blue color. I guess that's like a pathway? Um, okay. Oh, and then he's putting a fence in. Okay. Um, all right. Okay, hold on, Bob. Before we get too crazy here. All right, well, let's go back to our dark brown. And we need to kind of make some shrubberies here. Kind of, sort of. That feels too big. Okay, so gonna kind of drag this around and through here and work this in around into here. If we can. Like, I don't know if I can pull this off. We'll try. Oh wait, there's the other bit here. We'll definitely try. And we'll get this popped into here. And I'm actually gonna snip a small piece of that off of there. So I can kind of fill in that section there. And then take this guy. So we're kind of doing like a bit of a shrubby line. As best as we can in through here. So I'm just kind of rolling that between the fingers, trying to get like a shrubby, fluffy, rounded shape. Of course, it doesn't look like that by the time I get it popped into there, but we're trying. I mean, the fluff is gonna fluff. Alright. Oh gosh. Ah! Don't need all of this in one go. I mean, I kind of do, but at the same time, I don't want to overpower things here. I felted through the tape there. Alright. So we've got this guy here. And we kind of have like this shrubby wild man shape kind of happening up along the edge here. Alright. So this guy is not like too super big, but it's big enough, right? Kind of get him shaped out into here. Okay. So okay, we'll still see a little bit of it peeking out. Okay. So oh, that's the wrong color. Let's not be adding the wrong colors to the wrong bags. Alright. I'm gonna grab our frosty blue that I have. Now, this is the color I was talking about, maybe coming back in and fussing with the background a little bit. And if I think we have time, we might. You okay? What'd you do? Get in the shower?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I clean the pigs.
Do we need to do their laundry today or tomorrow?
It can wait till tomorrow.
Okay. Alright. So just getting a little bit of some of our frosty blue here. Just to kind of get some snow on our tree friend here. Like I've got fuzz stuck to my face. I probably do. Alright. Like I don't want it like super thick. Like I want some of this brown to be coming through here. At least in sections, you know? Alright, so we get this guy popping into here. Is it warm in here?
Yes, actually.
Okay, could you crack that window a little?
Yes.
I wasn't sure if I was like hallucinating or.
No.
I mean, it is almost 70 outside. According to wherever Windows 11 is getting its weather from.
Honestly, feels about right.
Okay. So I'm going to grab a little bit of that purple as we start to put in our shrubbies at the base of this. And then it will kind of alternate back and forth between the purple shrubby and the blue shrubby. Okay. So I'll work on getting that guy worked on into here. So there might be a little bit more traffic noise now, since we've opened the window. Do apologize for that, but it's getting a bit stuffy and stifling in here. So we need something in here to try to cool it down a little bit. Alright, so we'll get a little bit more of this shade popped into here. And then I'm gonna add some of this blue one more time to this end shrubby here. So I want to think like I'm a cottony cloud. Blowing around in the wind. As I'm just kind of shaping that. I'm going to lay it down on top of our brown. And just kind of work that guy in there. Okay, I'm going to pop this guy up gently. It's been a minute. Okay, these two colors I am going to put back in their bag. Well, yeah, for right now I'm going to put it back in its bag for that color. Alright, and we have to make a little bit of a pathway here. And a little bit of a fancy post. So I just want a little bit of our dark brown. And this doesn't have to be a pristine path. We can just have some dirt kind of poking through. snow here. That doesn't have to look fantastic. Just enough, you know, to kind of get the point across. Now for the tough part. Trying to get our fence in here. Okay, so we've got one fancy guy. Kind of sitting here. Carefully gonna snip that. Okay. So we need fence post number 2. And I think he's got like 3 fancy posts in here. Technically, you could put however many fancy posts you want. Okay. Let's get this guy. Alright, I'm gonna snip that. I have to snip twice because my, the tip of my scissors there don't actually close, so sometimes I don't get the entirety of what I thought I just cut. Now he's probably going to add snow to the top of his fence line. That's fine if that's what you want to do. We are so tiny at this point, I'm just not gonna. On this particular one. And honestly, with the way my shrubbery is down there, the bottom of the fence post kind of looks like the shrubs are covering it. So I'm cool with that. Gosh. Alright. I guess we kind of have to add those trees in. I think we might need a little bit more blue here too. The blue is bugging me. It's bugging me. I'm trying not to let it bug me. But it doesn't look right. Okay. So get this kind of worked into there. That looks a little bit better. So we could like come back in and try to add maybe a slightly different shade there. I don't know if it's really gonna do anything. Because it's not really all that noticeable. So I don't know if that's really gonna do much. I mean, it doesn't really look like it's doing all that much, but stay over there. There. We'll just kind of have a little bit of this lighter color on the edge. All right. Do we or don't we try to like, I don't know. I don't. I'm gonna have to do tree trunks on it, and it's not gonna really translate well. I don't think. I mean, maybe I should just do some clouds. I don't know, because now I'm thinking maybe I should add some, at least some like cloudy shapes in there to kind of fill in the background, since I don't have those weird little tree guys. Maybe we need a little something happening back in through here. Like, we need something. Because it's just so empty. Alright. I mean, it's sad, or I just kind of add these little wispy bits and maybe add some real fine tree trunks to it. Like, that's obviously much too small. Or too thin. I mean, I might be able to do something with that. Right, that's kind of like disappearing back into there. And then this guy. And people around here have just been all into beeping their horns lately. I don't know why. Just all the time with the horn beeping. Like, why are we so beep happy? Is it anger management issues? What is this? Okay. This guy pops into here. I think we're gonna give this guy a second supporting bit of tree trunk as well. Because it looks like it needs a little something there. I know it's not quite the trees that Bob did, but there's some things that you can pull off with paint and brush texture that are just super, super difficult to, at least for me, to pull off with this stuff. If other people can get it, great. I tip my hat to thee. Okay. That's not terrible. I mean, it's something back there, at least, you know. It's something. Okay. So, he's gotta be almost done. He was putting snow on the fence, shading the fence a little bit. Like, he can pull that off on there. I'm not gonna. It's gonna just blend into the background. It's fine. So, he's getting some more liquid white. What did he do? Oh, he did the fence. That's fine. We did our fence in brown. It's okay. So he's gonna add a little bit more shrubbery to the pathway. I'm not going to because our frame is going to hide it. I don't even know if we're going to be able to see the path, to be perfectly honest. What the heck's he doing now? Okay. Bob, what are you doing? Oh, is he just gonna add like little... Oh, he's doing little shadowy guys. Snow-covered stones. He's just fussing now. And he's just adding some little stickies out of the shrubs. Alright, and then he pulls off the contact paper. And then he's going to sign. Okay. So, we're gonna take our fingery guys off. And we're gonna put the needles back in the handle here. Alright. We're gonna pull off our tape bits here. Okay. I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna move our mat here for just a minute. Okay. So, I have to figure out what we are going to trim here. Figure out what we are gonna lose. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna lose a good portion of the edges, it would seem. Okay. That's okay. It happens. So I just want to be, ow, as close to our shape here as we can be. That's a thick boy. Okay. So let's come back over here. Sometimes my scissors get stuck in the back fluff. So that's why I keep trying to, oh, not the wood. Readjusting my scissor there. We're gonna lose some of our trees on this side. Okay. And then we're gonna come across here. Okay. So not too bad there. And then our frame is gonna sit like on that edge and then on that edge. So those two little thinner spots won't really be visible. Okay. We'll catch a little bit of that on the edge, but we'll lose a little bit of visibility on that. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this guy over. I'm gonna grab my little snippies here that came in my toolkit. And I am going to give the back of this a bit of a trim, because we did cram a lot of fluff into here. So I am just trying to trim some of that. Don't cut your project. Just want to cut a little bit of our excess fluff. Just so this will sit a little bit flatter. Because my bits of wood that I have to use for my frame here are not that wide. So I'm just trying to get this to be a little bit flatter so it sits a little bit better when we add this frame in. Just be careful. I know this is scary. Don't cut your project. And we don't have to worry about, you know, this destroying the front side of the project. So this is going to sit in a bed of tacky glue, is how we're going to attach it to our magnet backing. So all of this fluff here on the back side will be glued into place, and it'll be okay. And this also lets us trim up any bits that might try to be poking out on the sides here. It just helps us clean this up a little bit. That's not too bad. Okay. Alright, that's pretty good there. Right, I'm gonna take that tissue and just set that to the side. Close off my snips there. Alright, we've got our water. Got that guy. I need to rearrange a couple things here. Unplug my charger on that. And we're gonna plug in our nemesis here. And have to remember that this guy is now plugged in. And he is going to be hot. Okay. I did clean this. The gesso stuck to it, but the other paint came off. Oh, I didn't realize I had my soda sitting there. Sorry about that. Okay. I think I'm gonna need to pick up some more of this color paint, since we have been using it primarily for this. Oh, right. Okay. So we are gonna do our little signature here. I went with the green again, so it's probably gonna bleed a little bit. Alright, what if we do it this way on this side? Do our... Well, it's bleeding that way too. This is gonna be 20, 25. Can't remember if I dated the other ones. Alright, I think I like this one better for the back visible portion. I usually try to sign the piece itself, but these guys are so tiny that's really difficult to do, and after I slap the frame on, probably not going to be visible anyway. So we'll just sign the back of our magnet. Alright. Just trying to get my edges covered here. Well, I don't know if I really need to, because I think the edges of the frame are probably going to cover it anyway. So we'll get this guy painted in here, and I stopped gessoing these because I realized it looked better for this particular project without it. I know that might sound silly, but it feels more like a stain than paint, because we can see the wood grain through the paint. So it looks a little bit better with this particular wood. It's thirsty, but it's not terribly thirsty. I've seen some wood just suck in the paint where you can't even see that you put paint on it, hardly. It looks like you did a wash instead of a thick coat. This is not that kind of wood. I mean, it's sucking the paint in to a degree, which is good because that's helping it dry a little bit faster, but we're doing okay here. Like, it's working. I just got these little 3x3 guys off of Amazon. I don't remember how much they were. I think it was a pack of 50. I think it was under 10 bucks. Because I was definitely trying to stay within the budget. Okay. So this is the one that I think is going to be our actual visible back piece here. So this paint is just some acrylic craft paint in the color dark chocolate from Deco Art Americana. And if you don't have a paintbrush, you could probably get away with using like a Q-tip or maybe a paper towel even, just to kind of rub the paint on. Although the paper towel might leave lint behind, but if you're going to do the Q-tip, I would like maybe dampen the Q-tip a little bit with a little bit of water and then like maybe dry it first just so it doesn't leave too many fuzzies if you just don't have a paintbrush. I mean, you could try to use your finger and finger paint it on there. Might be a little bit messy, but if you're in a real pinch, I suppose that could work as well. Okay. So we'll get this guy painted up here. Okay. So we'll set that to the edge there to dry. And I'm going to hold the one end of this. So it takes 8 of these little coffee stirrers. They're pretty cheap, flimsy coffee stirrers. They're not very sturdy, but I was looking for something that wasn't super thick. Wow, truck. I was looking for something that wasn't real thick so that I could cut it with scissors or my X-Acto knife. And it works pretty well for that in that respect. In reality, I would have liked something a little bit wider. Just a little. But it's okay. It works out. And I think I ended up with like a pack of 150 of these. And I use 8. God, there's traffic today. I use 8 per magnet. And they take the paint pretty well too, so that's also a bonus. With them being coffee stirrers, there's no kind of finish on them. Okay. There's number 2. Yeah, I'm gonna get some more paint out of the bottle to get the rest of these guys finished up here. I am glad that we started a little bit early. Now I'm not rushing too much to get through this guy. I know it probably looks like I'm rushing on this paint portion. But there's not much to these guys, so the quicker I get through the painting process on them, the more likely they are going to be dry when I go to grab them. Okay, so that's number 3. Whoop. Alright. This guy worked into here. So this craft paint does have a pretty quick dry time on it, which is helpful. And even these little stirrer guys, their dry time is pretty good too. Like, probably as good as our squares here. Now, I could have painted these ahead of time, but some people were like, no, just do it as you go. I do try to get some stream prep done ahead of time, but I mean, at least this way you can see me struggling sometimes, failing sometimes to make the thing work. You're not alone. Things go wrong for everyone. Sometimes some pieces just refuse to cooperate. And it's less stream prep that I have to do. Tonight I need to get some more video editing done. Wasn't feeling that great last night, so I kind of was like, meh. By the time I got done the dishes, I didn't feel like doing anything. And I kind of wandered into Minecraft for a little bit. I'm not recording that Minecraft section, I'm just kind of dicking around in there. Maybe when we're done with Bear and Breakfast, I'll go back to recording some Minecrafty stuff. I'm not that good, so like my builds aren't fantastic. They're just average noob. Alright. Get this into here. Right, yeah, now I've got too much paint out. Dang it. I was afraid that was gonna happen when I squirted that out. I was like, uh-oh. I got a little carried away. Okay. So I only have 2 more sticks to go. Okay. Alright, give me 1 second. Okay. We've got 1 more guy that we need to finish painting here. Okay. So I do need to go grab the X-Acto knife. That'll only take me a second. Part of me wants to scoop this paint up and put it back into the bottle, and another part of me is like, girl, it was 99 cents. What are you doing? I mean, it's not that much, I guess. I just don't want to accidentally put my hand in it or put anything else in it accidentally. Okay. Got a paper towel over here. Dry my brush off on it. Alright. Ah, I just dried you! Excuse me. Get back in your cup. Okay. So I need to grab the X-Acto knife. Oh, stretches. Oh, hi, Uncle. What you doing in here? Being a good boy? Yeah? You're being the goodest boy ever? Yeah? Yeah? Little happy tail? Little happy tail from the zoo zoo? Yeah? My little Oompa Loompa? Okay. I was like, what smells like melting wax? Dumbass, you've got the hot glue gun plugged in. Right. Okay. I need my pencil. Alright. And I didn't grab my ruler, because of course I didn't. Okay. Oh, where am I going to put you? I mean, you're pretty much dry. You weren't quite dry. You'll be dry soon enough. Got paint all over my thumb now. Alright, I'll just sit you face up, because that's the side that's still a little questionable. Okay, which one did we want to use? Okay, this is going to be our back. So I want the top edges. to be okay. Let me see here. We were close. Okay. So then this guy. I need to cooperate here. Okay, we're gonna see how that goes. So I'm basically just kind of putting a score line in there. Is that in the right? Okay. And then this guy. Out, destroying my desk surface. Okay. This one stirrer is a little warped, but that's okay. We can still use him. Okay. I'm sure I've put some kind of minor cuts in the surface of the desk, but at least the contact paper is taking the brunt of it. I actually need those bits, so I don't want to have them wander too far. What is that? That might be... I think that's gesso. Okay. So this being our edgy frame here. Oh. You were still wet on the other side, too. Okay. So you And then you. All right. Okay. Let's see about trimming this guy. Oh, I scooped up that paint and I'm probably going to need more of it. I will take it directly from the bottle. Forgot I'm going to have to touch up the edges on this guy. And my one corner's a little crooked. Oh well. It definitely indicates it's handmade. Okay. Like that for certain. Get our glue. A glue cup from the tissue paper project. Bottle's almost empty, so it's taken a minute to slowly work its way down. You can feel it sliding down the side of the bottle, though. It's weird, but like you can feel like a cold sensation dripping down the edges. Okay. So, tend to take a little bit of our tacky glue and run it on the edge. Just to kind of get our base piece here. Well, we're trying to attach it. And we're trying to at least get it lined up a bit here. To at least get it to grip. This guy. This guy, I'm just gonna kind of slather the one side of this. Okay. Well, I'm going to kind of hold that in place there. Ah! Just trying to get the glue rinsed out of the brush here. Like, I know this is technically a glue brush, but okay. So now, don't know if I should like wait, but I just kind of want to get that beaded in there. Any little bits of weird glue on the back, we can usually just clean up at the end if we really need to. Okay. So then I'm going to add a bead of this. Down that edge. Glue strings everywhere. They're not my greatest nemesis, but they certainly rank up there. Yeah, I'll have to touch up the corners a little bit, and that's fine. Touch it up with a little bit of paint. Okay. All right. Okay. Get a little bit more of our tacky glue here. And start to get that put in on our stick friend here. Like, I don't need it to be flawless, but I do need some cleanness to the glue application. Okay, so we're gonna let that start to stick. This is always this is actually the most nerve-wracking part of this, is putting this frame together for me. Because I don't want it to get too misshapen here. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna just kind of hold that into place there. Let that solidify a bit. Alright, so we've got glue down in our corners here, because we've got a little bit of a gap on the back, but that's because the square itself is rounded. I don't know if I just didn't realize that when I bought them, or if I didn't care. I was like, it's fine. We'll make it work. You won't see that anyhow. This is gonna be on the back. Alright, so get that bit of glue off my fingers there. This part is a little bit messy. But this is tacky glue at the moment, so it'll just rub right off or wash right off. Our coming in clutch tacky glue. The unsung workhorse. Because I don't trust the hot glue to hold this entirely on its own. That is why the tacky glue's here. I was originally going to do it all in tacky glue, but that would add significant dry time to us just kind of sitting here without much to do in between. Okay. So, now this, the bane of our existence, I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna get it right up on the surface. I want to get down in there. No, you ho! Like I said, the tacky glue, or the hot glue, and I don't get along so well. Okay. So I just kind of want to put the nozzle right up on there. And if it's being a butthead about it, you might be able to do it sideways. Hot glue. Yay. Not a fan of the hot glue. I'm always super nervous using it. I've got bits of it stuck to the desk. I can feel it. Okay. So I've got that pretty good. We're gonna have to clean up the back corners a bit still. Okay. We have to clean up the front as well a little bit, but we'll get there. Okay, so that is that way. Okay. We're gonna go back to our tacky glue. Eventually it will come out of the bottle. Eventually. I have more, but gosh darn it. We are going to use every last drop in here that we can get to come out. What's going on here? I think our nozzle's clogged. Don't touch the glue gun, please. These toothpicks are crafting disc toothpicks now. So it doesn't really matter if I contaminate another one while I'm trying to get one out. Toothpicks actually come in pretty handy at times. That's a little better, not great, but better than it was. Just trying to make sure that we get enough glue laid down in here. We're gonna spread it out, but just want to make sure that we've got enough to cover. All right. Get this all smooshed around in here. We want it spread out really good, so we have enough contact between the wood and the backing, or the back of the felt, to hold this guy in place. Don't really trust the glue sticks I've had lately for this glue gun, because I've used stuff with this glue gun recently and it's just come apart. I'm like, why, glue gun? Why you gotta do me like that? And it's not that I didn't use enough. There'll be a mountain of it. Just rinsing the glue out of the old brush here. Okay, so I need to see what side. Okay, this side. Okay, so we're gonna lay this into here. And hopefully not have any glue on our fingers. Alright. I'm gonna get this guy really laid in here. As hey now. I'm just gonna take one of the little nubbies that I trimmed off our frame shapes here, just to make sure that that is good and squished into there. So like the whole thing kind of starts to stabilize itself. Okay, this bottom edge though has me concerned. I mean, I guess it's okay, but at the same time, I think he wants to go potty. Do I need to? Okay, because I really didn't want to leave this unattended.
No, we're working on it. Yeah, you're moving slow today.
Okay. So let's see here. Trying to get the glue, not the wood. Shit. Okay. Is she gonna be a butthead?
She appears to be napping.
Okay. Alright. We'll clean that up. Sometimes Snuffles doesn't want him to go out the door with Zuzu at all. Heck is that? Okay. Now, we need to figure out our bits here. Okay. Then this guy here, he's gonna sit there. Okay. So. Okay. Didn't realize it had flipped over. Paint all over me. Sorry if my head's in the shot there. Okay. I was like, uh-oh. Where did that one go? Okay. Did I score this one? I don't think I did. Okay. Hopefully this will be the right length. Okay, so this guy's gonna sit there. And then this guy is gonna sit there. So I'm a little over the edge, but that is probably okay. Okay, so this guy. Oh, let's try this. And, whoops, I didn't glue them in yet, so it's fine. So we're okay. That's alright. I felt where it landed. We're good. One of these days I'll remember to grab a plastic bag to cut them into. Okay, so if you get laid in there, can you get laid in there? Okay, that should, in theory, fit. So, what? Throwing my pencil around. Okay. So, let's this guy. Okay. So, let's see, I have to make sure I keep track of my short sides here. Okay. These are the shorty sides. Okay. Now, I had been doing the tacky glue to attach this on the top. Because I didn't fully trust the hot glue to cooperate. Excuse me. One of these days it'll meander its way down to the tip of the bottle. Like, I would give up and open a new bottle, but I know there's still glue in here. Like, for a absolute fact. I can feel it working its way down the bottle. Alright, that should be probably more than enough. Okay. So this is a long side. Excuse me. Oh, we hadn't done that in a while. Stupid allergies. No, I'm okay if I go a little bit generous on this. Well, I'm not sure I'm done with the glue gun yet, so I don't want to completely disconnect it just yet. So these are my little binder clip guys. They work pretty well as some little tiny clamps to hold this stuff in place while it's grabbing. So, get this on here. And I'm doing the whole back of these sides also, because if it doesn't grip to the frame itself, then it'll grip to the little painting guy, so it'll attach somewhere here. Yeah, shit. Come on, you. Don't be a dick. Please. Okay, I have to be careful with these, because some of these have, like, flung off. And gone for a trip around the joint here. At times. Okay. So. Getting this guy all glued up here. And I mean, I could try putting the glue on that, but it's just easier to put the glue on here, because then I know it's in the correct spot, basically. Alright, I need one more clippy. Ah, shit, that's slightly short. Fuck. Oh well. It's gonna happen, right? We tried. Definitely tried. Okay. Okay, we'll try that. Yeah, this frame is not the greatest, but I'm trying. Adds to the definite indicator to the eye right away. There are imperfections, and this was definitely handmade. For certain. Yeah, this side's short too. Dang it. Okay. That might attach. It might attach. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I thought that was the water cup. Oops. Alright, so we're gonna rinse this guy off real good, because the glue was sitting in him for a minute. Alright. Get that guy cleaned up there. Okay, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Doggo like jumped up suddenly and I was like, what is going on? I don't really use that brush. We'll use this one. Alright. Oh. That. That's not good. So this side kind of like bowed outward. Hmm. That's what I was afraid was going to happen when I did that. Yet another reason why I have trust issues with hot glue. There's only so much paint. Only so much paint can do to fix that. To be perfectly honest. Oh gosh, this whole side just like flipped out, didn't it? Oh damn. That whole side had a conniption fit. Eh. You know, I had a feeling that that side was not going to cooperate. This one's certainly not going to end up in the eBay pile. That's for certain. I get just the littlest bit of glue in there. Maybe. Or we can destroy our paintbrush. We can do that too. Can totally do that too. Right, so this frame just is like, no. What I'm not gonna do is cooperate. Probably because I tried to wedge the edge down in there. Although this is, yeah, that was the side I wedged the edge down into. So I suppose that was a problem that we made. Okay. So, I mean, it's not good. Can I clean this up a little bit? Yeah, it looks better with the gap. Like, maybe we can go about that a little better. Okay. Alright, let's see, is that dries there, if that looks any better. I'm just kind of trying to darken up the front of this frame a little bit carefully to just kind of match the rest of it. Okay, I think that's probably as good as it's gonna get. I just have to let the front of that dry, and then we'll pop the magnets on. Okay. Put that onto there. That can go back into there. That can go back in there. Let's put the lid back on this guy. Alright, so let's try to clean up our mess just a little bit. Okay, I need our magnet friends here. That over there. Okay. Oh, hey, that one broke. Huh. Wow. I didn't know these would break. Oh, okay. Well, apparently they can. Fascinating. Alright, let's get that. Let's get the icky glue. The glue that we have to be real careful with. Ugh. I mean, it's definitely noticeable. That little bead of glue there. Actually, when I can't trim it. Is that rust? No, it's probably paint. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna get our glue. And we only need 1 drop. Ooh. Oh no, that's not good. Alright. So we will get our little bits of scrap right in there. I'm just gonna kind of dump that towards that corner there where it can't do any harm. Right, the only bad thing is about that now that I have to make sure this stays upside down. Alright, this is Gorilla Glue Super Glue. So definitely want to be mindful of where our hands are located on this one. This one's just going to shit all over the place. Alright. Let me grab a different piece here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Alright, and then the same with the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Okay, so I can't leave this guy sit this way, but we can do one last shot of him. So it didn't come out the greatest, but you know what? We tried, we attempted, we gave it a shot. Not my favorite of this series so far, but you know, that's how it goes sometimes. You learn to like what you like and what you don't like, and that's how it is. So next week we will start number 6. What is number 6 anyway? Let's see here. Number 6 is View from Clear Creek. That looks a lot like one of the other ones that we've done here. Oh, no, not really. Okay. So it's kind of some distant mountains. I guess that's as good a shot we're gonna get without the placards all over the end shot. So it's got some distant mountains, and we've got another body of water and like a meadow and a couple of trees, and we should be able to do that one no problem. We will be starting that one next week. That one is once again View from Clear Creek. This was, what was this again? This one was Tranquility Cove. So, no, it's not. This one's Cabin in the Hollow. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. Tranquility Cove was the last one we did. So, not terrible. We got the job done in the end. So I thank you guys for hanging out with me today. We are going to end early just because this needs somewhere to dry. And we did start a little bit early. So I hope everybody has a good day. I will be back tomorrow with Planet Zoo. And we'll pick up where we left off on that staff area and getting that all cleaned up and happy before we move on to the bear habitats and the walkways and all. So I will see everybody tomorrow for that. Take care tonight. And until tomorrow, don't forget to follow socially links down below as well. And until next time, everybody, have a good one.